All right, in my last video called IOffendedVoices.com and Here's How, the founder and CEO, David Ciccarelli, asked me to lay out my points as to why I asserted that Voices puts profit before talent. Now, I laid out 5 facts that detailed their history of disregard for transparency when it comes to fees, taking egregious cuts of the budgets, and a few others. The reaction was just nuts, unprecedented. Here's just some of what you had to say. Carly Walker said, "So well said, Paul. Thank you for not only detailing the offenses, but offering actionable solutions." I appreciate that, Carly. It's one thing to criticize. Anybody can do that. It's another thing to not only call someone or something out, but to offer solutions, to offer a better way. I had a boss who used to tell me, "Don't come to me with a problem, come to me with a problem and a solution." From Leah Hoffman, "Much respect, Paul. Your clear and concise commentary echoes my own frustration with this platform. Thank you for putting it out into the world." Kay Bess says, "So good. Thank you." And Michael Waite said, "I have one word to describe what I just viewed. Wow. I am beyond impressed and admire you for your willingness to take on Goliath." Thanks to everybody who commented, everybody who watched. And to Michael's point, Michael, I'm not trying to take on anybody. I'm trying to further conversations around issues that affect the business of voice acting. I believe that as individuals and as a group, we get what we tolerate. And when we tolerate policies and behaviors that aren't in the best interest of us all thriving, then we need to create change. Now, I also told David that if any of the assertions that I made, any of the facts that I detailed have changed since they first occurred, that, let me know. I'll make the corrections and I'll be happy to share that here. Now, in fairness to David, I also said that I'm not interested in a verbal response and that I'm not much for words, I am much for actions. So probably as a result of that, as of the shooting of this video right now, I have received no response from David Ciccarelli or his team at voices.com, and I'm not surprised. I did, admittedly now, send them mixed messages. But to be fair to David and to Voices, a couple of other voice actors reached out to me and made updates or corrections to a couple of the points that I made. First, Karen Gilfrey reached out on Facebook and had this to say. "Paul, I think you're great, but some of your facts are inaccurate. 1. In 2019, Voices partnered with Vocal ID not to create synthetic voices to work alongside human voice actors, but to help Vocal ID cast their projects. Rupal Patel, the CEO of Vocal ID, spoke at Vocation NYC in 2019 and clarified this. They also pulled their partnership shortly after the conference. 2. Jamie Muffett and I posted a job as an experiment to 8 different pay-to-play sites. To our surprise, Voices actually had the strictest and most industry-appropriate rates of all 8 sites. They walked the client through every question, medium, usage, time period, region, and educate the client as to why something costs more all along the way. Then, based on the info the client inputs, they will not let the client quote a fee below a certain rate. For example, an online ad to be used nationally for 3 months could not be posted for under $750. It was grayed out. The $5 jobs are only allowed for things like recording a personal voicemail, a school PowerPoint presentation, etc. It would not be allowed if a client said they are working on a commercial, e-learning, documentary, etc. 3. Voices does not have membership tiers. They still do have a platinum level, but it only gives preferential search results. Everyone has the same access to auditions for $500 per year, and the platinum level is being phased out in 2023. Now, to that point, Carla Emmons also reached out on the Pro blog at paulschmidtpro.com and sent me a link to a blog post that David Ciccarelli posted in October of 2022. It's called Platinum Sunset and the Future Vision for Talent. In that post, David says, Voices is moving away from a pay-for-access-based service to a merit-based system, discontinuing the Platinum membership as a result. He also says, when I reflected on our guiding philosophy, which is to build a business that's based on shared success, I realized that the more value we added to the Platinum membership, the less time and attention we dedicated to innovating the premium membership. As a founder and CEO, I want to build an online platform that supports voice talent who are engaged, recognizes them for their talent, and rewards them for their success. This means we will be focusing on one membership, the premium membership. Success on Voices should be within reach of all talent, and those who get to the top are there because they earned it. Again, to be clear, these are not changes that David Ciccarelli and voices.com made in response to my video last week. These were already in the works. I simply just wasn't aware of that. So thanks to Karin and thanks to Carla for making me aware so that we could update you here. So to be fair to David and voices.com, I have an obligation to pass that information along. In fact, I'll even put the link to David's blog post down below in the description and the show notes. Now, I applaud absolutely the end of the Vocal ID partnership, the end of the tiered membership system. I think both of those are huge. And I'm also very happy and encouraged to hear that Voices is now educating the client as to what proper and appropriate and professional rates are, and at least trying to put some structure around that when a client signs up for a job at voices.com. These are huge and real and significant steps forward. And as I said, I applaud Voices. Kudos to David and to Voices for making those changes. But Voices still has a significant way to go to earn back the trust, I think, of the voiceover community. A fair and reasonable terms of service agreement, ending this ridiculous affiliate program where they're asking us to turn all of our contacts over to voices.com. And maybe most importantly, complete transparency to the client around the fees that they're paying. How much goes to the talent? How much goes to the platform? Down to the penny. All of these things are just the right thing to do. Look, Voices has made a lot of unethical moves over the years. These are not just simple mistakes. These are moves that show a clear lack of ethics. And they've destroyed a lot of trust within the voiceover community. But it looks like maybe Voices is starting to understand that that trust can be earned back. They may be taking some steps to do just that. We know they know better. The question is, will they do better consistently and reliably over time to earn back the trust that they lost and to become stewards and caretakers and not the gold diggers of the voiceover industry? As I said before, when they do, we'll know it because we'll see it. For more information on the VO Freedom Master Plan, which is my signature program to take voice actors with no marketing plan, sales, or marketing experience to having a proven process to grow relationships at scale over time that lead to consistent booking, business, revenue, and income, click on the link in the description or show notes below. And to get my Move, Touch, Inspire newsletter for voice actors, which comes out every Thursday specifically for voice actors, you can click that link as well. If you got value from this video, if you think someone else, more importantly, would get value from this video, if it would help them, then help us find them through the algorithm with a like, subscribe, and clang that notification bell so you'll be the first to know every week when we publish a new video on Thursdays. From the bottom of my heart, thanks so much for your support, for watching. For those of you that joined the conversation in the comments, thank you so much, and we'll see you back here again soon.